Good evening and welcome to Off the Line Racing. We are back for round 7 and it's time to get ourselves over to the one and only Marina Bay Street Circuit over in Singapore with its 19 turns, a 4.9 kilometre long circuit, 12 turns to the left and 9 and only 7 to the right, and 4 DRS zones since they changed the circuit back in 2023 from 23 turns down to 19 turns. First made its appearance in 2008 for round 15 and was the first night race in Formula One history, with Alonso taking that controversial victory back with Renault in a time that was a little bit unknown. It's a bumpy track known for its humid conditions and also some tight, close walls that can produce some mighty close action, but can also make it very difficult to find a space to overtake. My name is Corey Brooks, one of your two commentators for this evening. Join with me in the booth, it's Lanky. How are we doing, my friend?
Good evening, everyone. Not doing too bad, thank you very much. Looking forward to this. After the D3 race yesterday, it was quite tight at the front end in qualifying, so it'd be interesting to see how tight it is here in the obviously the slightly faster group.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, hold on, Ricky's subscribed for 3 months and it's trying to show me a message, but I can't see the message on my phone. I don't know what the chat's saying. Let me just refresh
It
that.
says Corey Brooks loves the window licker,
Uh,
if that's the one you can't see.
yeah, no, I don't, but you know, it is what it is. But we are about to go to qualifying. The track is ready. The drivers are getting out though. We've got 18 minutes to go. So let's see what they can produce in terms of lap times as we get going for this short qualifying session. Now, joining us at the track, and we shall pull up all the lap data for you so you can see what's going on, and we'll be able to see who is first to the tarmac. I think that is Ashton the Brit taking it away with the first timed lap when he gets back around after he's out lap, just trying to generate high temperature. Now I wonder what the weather's going to be like here in Marina Bay Street Circuit. It's been known to have spots of weather, a bit of a wet tarmac to put the drivers under some pressure.
Yeah, it'd be
That's
nice
quiet.
some mixed conditions from a spectating point of view.
Is that better?
Yeah, I was just noticing Byron. He's serving his qualifying ban, so that is why he is taking early retirement. For anybody unaware.
Yeah, so Baron was supposed to serve a qualifying ban in round 5, was not here in round 5 after an impeding incident in round 4, and is serving that qualifying ban here tonight, as normally drivers are allowed to do an installation lap within the first 3 minutes of qualifying. Baron has chosen not to do that, has chosen to stay in the pits and retire, as is known. Will be starting 17th on the grid, unless we have somebody join the lobby in the lobby restart phase, which is yet to come after qualifying, so do take that all into consideration. But we are on board with Ashton the Brit, the Scarlet Red Ferrari, taking us away with the first timed lap on the board. Coming down now towards turn 7. Look fairly confident in sector 1, has done plenty of practice I presume, but the track is dangerous and as treacherous as this, but does come around turn 8 with ease, and now turn number 9. It's one of those corners you've got to be a little bit cautious on, because that wall comes at you very, very quickly. You can't risk understeering into it and picking up some wing damage, and though we just passed the wall, which saw George Russell out in one of the previous Grand Prix in the real life, and if I see that happen today, you will be laughed at. Bear that in mind. That wall is poking out and looking at you, ready to take off your front right wheel or your front right wing, depending on how close you actually get to it. But for Ashton the Brit, he's finishing his sector 2 now, getting down towards turn 14, really trying to get the rotation in the car. You see struggling on the braking, a little bit of a lock up and slide in there, but does come out of it on top, flat to the floor now, aided with DRS again, all the way down to that 16-17 chicane, which can prove deadly as well, because just there is a wall, and there you see the kink in the wall that can come at you from out of nowhere if you try and run a little bit close to track limits. But he crosses the line. It's a 30.4 for the bank of time before the only EGC sets a 29 flat immediately with the KFC block, and then Dr. Steele takes that away with a 28.9, a 10th separation. between P1 and P3. 10th and a half, I should say. Wow.
Yeah, so good bankers there from those three.
Yeah, it comes Jack towards the line as well, 29.143. A lot of drivers in the 29s already, as well as Tom Carter, 29.5. I'm trying to get to... Why is it not getting me down there? There we go. No, it's not getting me down though. I wasn't pressing. I was pressing control, not shift. My apologies. So Craig Inflator, and he's just dropped it ever so casually, coming around the hairpin of 13. You can class it as a hairpin if how harsh you are on the brakes and trying to get the rotation around it. But it's a very sort of shallow hairpin in that sense, more like a right-hander, a very, very tight left-hander if you look at the track map, but it feels like a hairpin when you attack it. Who else is on a timed lap? Swifty, I believe. The Aston Martin driver's on an invalid lap, so that's not a lap.
Yeah, Mr. Blobby is just come out of turn 3. He's on a time lap.
Yeah, 8 to turn 5, down towards that kink of 6, and then hits that sector 1 split. Now, is that a full purple? We do not know until he sets this banker lap to see what sort of pace we can compare it with. You see the purple on the track map, but do not take that as representative. It's been a bit buggy in the past, as we've known from previous games, so we've learned not to trust the track map for sector delta best. As we come towards turn number 10 now, into one of the more treacherous parts of the track, crossing over the bridge towards turn 12. It's very, very easy to clip the wall and catch yourself some damage before you harsh on the brakes once again, getting the rotation around 13, and then you're DRS aided to finish off sector 2. Down towards 14, again harsh on the brakes, trying to get that rotation into the car. Now you can very easily invalidate the lap there, because it actually gives you enough runoff to put the car over the white lines, whereas other corners, you'll be met with a barrier your way. As we see Swifty, I think, has met one of those barriers, coming through 16, 17 chicane.
As you said it, literally as you were saying
it. Well, I don't know if we can put that down to commentator's curse or what, but he's certainly got a bit too friendly with barriers. I wasn't talking about Swifty, I was talking about Mr. Blobby, aka Bobby, but, you know...
I was on board with Mr. Blobby myself. I just heard the bang, so Swifty wasn't too far ahead. But yeah, the timing couldn't have got any more spot on to you saying that.
Well, these walls are tight. They're close now. Well, you've got to be careful. Like, look at everything about Singapore. With it being a street track, they have to barrier everything off. It has to be met with walls, or else you'll end up in somebody's corner shop. Do you know?
Yeah.
In the shopping mall. You know, you want to go and see a Formula 1 car in real life, but not while you're going shopping for handbags.
Yeah, that bridge section is very tight. It's on the off-board cameras, it's deceiving, isn't it? When you're on board and you're racing going through there, it's a very tight section. Yeah, and then it's sort of that whole final section, really, isn't it? Is probably the most difficult section, I'd say, of the track. The second section is difficult, but the final corners, they
understeer central.
And the traction out of it can be a bit questionable as well. The final two.
Yeah, coming out of 16 and 17, you've got to have your angle right. You've got to have your exit perfect out of 17 chicane. That 16, 17 chicane has got to be absolutely crispy clean and perfect. Because if you're off by the slightest deviation, there are kinks in that wall, in that barrier. The barrier actually is closer to you. If you maintain a straight line, you're clipping it. And that's race over.
Well, we all remember George Russell in real life when he a few corners before, wasn't it? But he got caught by one of those sticking out walls. There's a few of them to catch you out.
Yeah, it's very easy done. It's very easy done. Just look at it all. Look at it. They're just walls for days. Everywhere you go is a barrier ready to take you off. No runoffs, no gravel traps, no grass, nothing at all to slow the car down. You'll be met with a stationary object. And, well, as they say, it's not speed that kills you, it's suddenly becoming stationary.
Yeah, very true.
We are on board with Pucci, who's yet to get a time on the board. Coming through Sector 2 now, just dispatched of turn 12. Crossing that bridge, and then harsh on the brakes for that turn number 13. Treacherous, dangerous, especially trying to get the power and the traction down to get that top speed back up as you aided with DRS before you harsh on the brakes once again. Slow it back down again. Rotate around turn 14 to start off Sector 3, and then once again open that rear wing and get that top speed up. But, ooh, darting out of the way of a Red Bull there. Just, I don't know if you class that as impeding. The racing line was not technically there. Had plenty of time to react to that one. But for Pucci, coming out of the final two corners, double left-hander flat to the floor, and away we go. Crosses the line. Only good enough for P4, but still a good banker time to get into that 29s. See, everybody else is still rocking their provisional bankers. We will go on board with Dr. Steele as he's coming around 16 and 17 now. And just ahead of him is the Ferrari that will be Ashton the Brit to cross the line. Any improvement? Yes, ahead of his teammate, Dr. Steele, to improve on that pole time by quite a few tenths, I've got to say. At 28.3, the time to beat.
28.3, that is a great lap off Dr. Seal. I was just looking, we got 4 drivers, all within a tenth, from fourth to seventh, 8th, 7th, yeah, 4th, 7th.
Well, I wonder if any more improvement is to come for Dr. Steele. I mean, the KFC block is one of those drivers who could be potentially contending for it. He's 3/10 up currently, just about, but I don't know if he can pull any more out in the final sector here to potentially challenge what could have been a challenge in the first opening laps. Juiced has just jumped up to P3, getting into that 28 time with the only EGC. Who EGC needs some crucial points in this championship. He's only got 8 at the minute, but the KFC block has had a big moment out of the final 2 turns. Unlucky. Unlucky, brother. I'm having a problem with my stream replay. I'm trying to watch it back on my phone so I can make sure everything's going smoothly. There we go. Everything's now rocking smoothly. But unlucky to the KFC block, who could have seen an improvement, but has dropped it out of the final 2 turns. And that is not an improvement to come his way. Qualifying always a little bit slow in terms of actual action that you're going to see. Just drivers going around the track, setting their laps, getting themselves ready. I'm yet to see Hugo to set a timed lap, as he is to the track now, and Roker as well to set a timed lap. Now, comes across the line, Hugo is a 31.8, maybe that's a double 8 lap. No, there's a flashing light, so has had a moment. What about Roker? Is Roker going to set a time that is worthy of contending for potential pole position, or if not, a good points finish? Not got any points on the board as of yet in the championship. Those 20 spots are filled by the rest of the drivers. Of course, some reserves as well. To mention that, reserves can score points in the championship, so don't let that discourage you. As Roker is a reserve driver himself, he'll be looking to score some crucial points and get himself on the board as he does lines up P3 with a beautiful opening lap, 28.9. Still 6/10 away from challenging from pole position. Dr. Steele is certainly rock hard in that sense. The name fits it. Hard as steel, as nobody can challenge that time. What about Craig going Fleto? Do I still have you with me, Lanky, or have you disappeared?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was just on board with Craig. He seems like fairly clean up to now. Hopefully he can get something on the board because he's currently the last running man without a time.
Well, we are on board with the Kick Salver himself. Comes to get that rear wing up and down in Sector 3. 4 DRS zones to use to your advantage. Now, I wonder if this is going to be like Australia in terms of a Grand Prix. Is it just going to be a huge DRS train? Is it going to be impossible to overtake?
I mean, there's 3 zones, isn't there? So.
4.
Oh yeah, the start straight as well. I'm completely missing the start straight. Yeah, so 4.
They've ever since they changed the layout again in 25, another DRS zone has been added. So there are 4 DRS zones now. So the argument is, it's more overtaking opportunities now. In real life, absolutely. In the game, it's just
Not so much,
no,
yeah.
it's just horrendous with the dirtier. It is very difficult to overtake now. Coming from the races that I see every week and seeing how things are in that, it's just DRS train after DRS train. It's just lap after lap, cars going around the track, no open doors, no opportunities coming their way. But I don't know, for Division 2, maybe that's to happen tonight, maybe with the way the pace is here. But look how close it is between P2 and all the way down to P10. So that's 8 drivers within just a couple tenths of each other that are all going to be scrapping it out for positions, and then you see a bit of a pace gap.
Yeah, it is very tight in the top 10, as you say, up until Dr. Steele, who's got an almost perfect lap, I'd imagine, for himself, if not perfect. He's coming back out, so he must still think there's time in there.
On board with the new boy, Mr. Blobby, as he comes around turn number 6 now and finishes off sector 1 down on the time. So actually, he's set that time. Maybe this is an in lap. But Tom Carter, something we missed out on, has jumped up into P2. Your two potential championship rivals could be going at it. The championship is down to Poochie Head, currently leading, and Tom Carter, who was leading after being jumped from the last round by Poochie Head, has got to score back some crucial points and retake the lead of his championship. Beautiful lap there for Tom to get him up there well within a good spot. I know he's been out of Formula 1 racing for a while. He's not been taken to the F1 game. He's been doing a lot of F4 in iRacing. So completely different car, completely different grip limits. Needs to get to terms once again with the Formula 1 car. But there, with the 28 on the board, certainly coming back to him very quickly.
Yeah, he'll be fairly happy with that. Even, sorry, even though he's still, around half a second almost. So then Dr. Steele, after, like you say, he's been doing a lot of other racing, and I'm pretty sure he didn't race last week. So yeah, I would imagine he's happy with being that far up the leaderboard.
Well, like I say, he's still well within contention. He's still, I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily early days. Still got 5 rounds to go after this one. And of course, next week is going to be a break. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Is it? No. I think we're running Silverstone then break week. I can't remember. We literally spoke about this earlier today. Or yesterday. It was mentioned in admin chat. But nevertheless, we have Silverstone, and that's going to be the difference, I reckon, in terms of who's going to be on the top. Because it is ran in a reverse order. This is new. This is completely different. Drivers who have returning drivers from the previous game, the previous seasons. Not only that, those that have experience in the previous games past from 2017 when all this league business started to really taking off all the way up to now. They've had practice on Silverstone, the standard layout. They know the corners, they know the track. They've had multiple cars to drive this track on. Driving it backwards now is a different ball game.
Yeah.
Well, that's a mad move.
I haven't got a
moved
clue
up to,
on strategies or anything
P2.
for that, so.
Wow, qualifying's getting dangerously close. Dangerously close.
Yeah, well, the final run's coming in now, so. Oh, Dr. Steele gets an improvement.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I was jumping to Poochhead to see if Poochhead's going to pull back some time. He was, again, needs some good points here. Needs to get well up there because I feel like this is going to be a very difficult race to overtake. Very difficult to get some moves happen unless mistakes are made. And Sid CTV1 finishes off that lap with fouling just behind his teammate. Them two are going to be absolutely buzzing with that. It's a McLaren 1-2 provisionally, but who else is to come to cross the line? I'm still on board with Puccied, but I believe we have a Williams to come towards the line. That's a mad move it is, but he's not going to be setting a lap time. After that will be an Alpine. That will not be juiced. It will be his teammate of Hugo. So Hugo, who's had a bit of a stinker qualifying thus far, crosses the line on the good enough for P13 at 29.618. Now we jump back to Puccied, who will be coming towards the line, crosses it, goes up P3, just falls short before the KFC bloke separates those McLarens, will be raising his fist in delight that he could get into that fight and get into that mix. We'll take a look further down. Tom Carter, is there an improvement to come his way? Certainly is, coming out of Sector 2 by a few tenths. Is this a contention for P2 once again as he gets that rear wing open, comes powering down that Sector 3 DRS straight? Tom Carter looking to improve by a massive margin, but with just a couple corners to go, as Jack lines up in P7 there with a 28.8. No, he's clattered the wall! Oh, that's unfortunate as he comes around the final 2 turns. How much has it cost him as he crosses the line and does take P2 in the end? That's massive for the Ferrari driver in terms of his championship and comes back with a bang.
Good luck, baby. He'd definitely be happy with that.
Oh, wow. Welcome back, Tom Carter. Oh, wow. There you have it. Qualifying done and dusted. Dr. Steele takes pole position. So that's that McLaren up there. And he's looking to make a mid-season charge for championship. Tom Carter comes back to try and retake the lead with a KFC block in third. Sid CTV1 in fourth. Poochie Head, that's a mad move. Jack, Roker, EGC, and Juice doing your top 10 just outside of that. Ashton the Brit, Ty Clear, Hugo, Mr. Blobbit, Craigo Inflator, Swifty, and then Baron serving that qualifying ban. Swifty struggling to get a time on the board. And now we go to our standard lobby reset phase where everybody's going to crash themselves out. Now, I normally show this in Division 1, so you're going to see this in Division 2. You're going to get to watch everybody either straight line into the wall or retire on track. This is where things get fun and a little bit of entertainment while we get ready for the lobby restart to get underway. I reckon, I think everybody, if you're listening, what you should do is just flat to the floor, off the line, and go straight. Just keep going straight. Don't even turn for turn one. Just keep going straight. Every single car, every single one of you, just go bosh into turn one. I beg of you, all of you, just do it. Bosh into turn one. Straight on. What is track limits? What is a corner? There is no corners.
Flat out. Last man standing.
Here we go. Come on, let's do it. Everybody, flat to the floor, and just bomb it into turn one. Go, go, go. There, everybody goes. Let's get on board. Who's in the lead? It's Sid. Sid makes the turn. He's a bender. There we go. We have some people who actually did it. The KFC blocks straight on it. Deal, yeah. Oh, look at that. The extra mine was a Swifty. Oh, that was so good. He just, oh my god, he reminds me of Tokyo Drift, the opening scene where Sean's trying to learn how to drift. He's just sliding into walls. That was so good. Oh, fantastic. Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers. You've done us proud. Oh, it was Poochie Head. I think it was Poochie Head who drifted that into the wall. That was great. Oh, that was great. Oh, we come back to the commentators booth. We're going to go over standings as such and have a quick little chat of what's to come and what you expect to see happen in this opening race. Well, of course, there is the fight for the championship, so we'll take a quick little look on that as we take to the drivers' standings there. It is Poochie Head currently leading the way by 5 points over Tom Carter, who was your leader for, a couple of rounds, but has ultimately just dropped out by those 5 points for Poochie Head scoring a much-needed victory last time out. Juiced just behind them in P3, but then you have tied on points for fourth and fifth. That's a mad move. I love that name, by the way. And Swifty for 44 points. Then another tied points positions for reserve driver Tico and the KFC bloke. The KFC bloke was looking rather pacey here today in Singapore. So he's looking to score back some points and potentially make a challenge to get ever higher for what could be P4, depending on how Juice finishes now. Well, saying that, even if the KFC block won and Juice has got a couple of points, he would still only be P4, but he's still higher in those standings. As we look to Dr. Steele, your current pole sitter, who is making that mid-season charge to the top of the standings. Sid CTV1 just in ninth on 34 points before we have Ty Clear finishing off the top 10. Just outside of that, reserve driver Sam levelling off points, tied with Chalk in 12th, and then Owens, another reserve driver, in 13th. Chester Puppy on 13 points in 14th. Hugo on 10 points. Molyneux on 10 in 16th. And J11RRN, I don't know how to pronounce your name. as a name. I'm just going to call you J11 on 9 points in 17th, and then Baron, who served that qualifying ban here today, on 8 points in 18th. EGC in 19th, and Sunny HP lining up the 20 on your drivers' standings. Now on to the constructors, where Alpine do lead the way with 118. That reminds me of an old commercial, I've got to say. Old commercial. 118, 118. If you know, you know. But as we look to P2, Aston Martin, just 2 points behind them. Put your head. Well, saying that in the chat, not in a championship fight, you need to score some points back for your team because you're looking at a constructors at least, with Ferrari on 83 points just behind that. McLaren then just behind them on 76, where Red Bull's on 69. Williams on 53 with a Haas with a bit of a big points gap there by 20 on 33 points. Racing Bulls just behind them, Mercedes, and at the bottom, Kick Sauber finishing that off. Now, bit of a information for those of you that don't know, something that I like to point out in Division 1 as well. I'm going to bring to Division 2 your Season 5 calendar that is yet to come your way. So if you're interested and enjoy the racing that you see, get yourself signed up, get in the Discord, because you could be a part of what is to come in Season 5. Take a look at that. That's still Season 4 for some reason, although I did change it earlier. Never mind, you can take a look at Season 4. It seems my Stream Deck has not changed the command. Never mind, there's Season 5. It's coming on right about now. Season 5 calendar. Now, for the first time in Off the Line Racing history, you see there for round 2, Monaco, the Monte Carlo Grand Prix. One of those tracks that could prove to be boring or quite entertaining, depending on the skill level of these drivers, if they can navigate these tight, twisty turns, those horrible corners, and get around the track safely without damage, without incident. And hopefully, it is your time to shine now. As we know in Monaco, you start on pole, you have a 90% chance of winning the race, providing you do not meet the barriers and your ultimate end. But, you know, back to normal for round 3 as we go to Silverstone, but this time the correct way around. You won't be driving backwards, you'll be driving forwards. The normal track layout before we head over to Spa-Francorchamps, everybody's favourite, fan favourite to watch, driver favourite to drive. The one of the longest, I think it is the longest circuit on the calendar. Somebody can fact check me on that. With the Kemmel Straight being 1 full kilometre of the entire circuit. So of those 7 kilometres, the Kemmel Straight is one of them, and it's aided with DRS all the way down. You see 3 wide moments there, and certainly a place for some spicy overtaking action before we head over to Mexico City. One of my favourite tracks to drive, I've got to say. However, those first opening corners, turns 1 to turn 3, can prove tricky if you don't master that racing line before we head over to Barcelona in Spain, which has been a track of controversy through 24. And, well, have they fixed it? Well, it was 23 and 24. And now, have they fixed it for 25? We can only wait and find out as we try and race it going into Season 5. On to Monza, which is, again, arguably one of my favourite tracks to drive and to race. The Temple of Speed, to say the least, for round 7. And then off to Interlagos, which is a historic favourite in off-the-line racing history, which has proved to be the home of championship title deciders and interesting fights and battles going back to Season 1. And now we head off to Yas Marina for round number 8. Round number 9, sorry. Melbourne, Australia, round number 10. Japan for round 11. And then finishing off in Austria, Spielberg. Now, I quite enjoy Austria, but I feel like in this game it's difficult to race. It's more like a train track at the moment, with everybody just following suit. You can't really find a way through. The only places you can overtake is into turn 3 if you've got the DRS on the leader. Everyone else in the DRS train, it's just the dirty air's too much. I don't know, what's your thoughts on it, Lanky, going into this game? I know you drive a lot more than I do, but I know that dirty air is horrendous.
Oh yeah, it's very difficult to manage it when you're trading one car, never mind like a couple of cars. And it's quite random as well. Like you can go into a corner and it would be all right as you turn in, and then mid corner it would just let go and all of a sudden turn into a tank. So yeah, it can be very difficult to manage.
As well, for me, I don't know about you, but tyre strategy as well has proved a bit tricky to work out in this game. A lot at the start, when we went into this game, everybody was arguing it was the meta to stop was the fastest because the setups were still unknown. They were still experimenting, still figuring out what's the fastest way is to go around these circuits, the best setups to do it, and the best strategies to run. And the tyre work was abysmal because everybody was running higher downforce. Now, I've noticed the meta is lower downforce setups to get that tyre to last the race. I think we are ready to rock and roll.
Some tracks just eat the tires alive. Others, the deg is still not great, but you can sort of manage it a little bit better. Yeah, the tires are definitely one of the biggest, most difficult things to manage at the moment, I would say, on the game.
Yeah, they've got to be think about it in the long run. I mean, again, with the setups on no new game, new grip limits, again, all the updates, track updates, and new LiDAR scanning technology on certain tracks that have been changed as well into this game. It's a bit still unknown as we're running the first season into this new game cycle. But that mid-season, as we potentially run 3 seasons on this game cycle, when we get to that midpoint of the game cycle, those mid-seasons, that's where you start to see all the improvements, all the changes, faster drivers coming to light, and things start to get a little bit faster and a little bit more racy for everybody on the track. But again, we are still experiencing updates. There was a recent game update, so I don't know if they changed anything to do with handling, but that could also play a big factor. Now, we are going to take to the track as the drivers are there getting ready, applying their setups and getting ready to take us for 31 laps. So, let's get to the tarmac and get ready for the Singapore Grand Prix. We are now trackside, ready to rock and roll. The drivers need to make sure the fuel is at the best level possible to make sure they're not running too much, but just enough to finish the race, and not too little to where they won't finish the race. Not only that, need to set those strategies up. What is the best tyre to start on? So many factors to take into consideration: weather, temperature, track limits, how many laps can you run, what is the best starting tyre to start off on. All of these factors which puts these drivers above the rest when their strategy plays out to perfection. So, is there a spot of weather on the way? The sky is looking clear. It is a night race, like we mentioned. It made history in Formula 1 in 2008 when it was the first night race in Formula 1. But in 2023 saw a dramatic track change, getting rid of 4 corners, getting it down from 23 to only 19. No.
Yeah, I kind of miss the old layout, like under the bridge. Like,
Yeah, I do.
it was a technical section, but I do miss it.
I was mentioning this the other day to somebody that I would much prefer go back to the old way. It was very technical. One mistake and you was in the outer column. You was out a bit, like you was just meeting the barrier. There was nothing you could do about it. It was just a tight corner. It was a fast chicane in that sense. Flick to the left, back around to the right as quick as possible, then flat to the floor once again, down to what is now 16 and 17, but would have been 18 and 19 back then.
I'd say it's probably equally as deadly as Castle.
Yeah, easily. Very easy to hit the walls. Very, very easy to hit those walls. But here we go. The lights are lit. The grid is hot. The drivers are ready to rock and roll. That's 5 lights and we are... Go, go, go. And we are away. And that's a good getaway from Dr. Steele. But Tom Carter was not caught out in the slightest. He's looking for it through the inside into turn 1 and slips into the lead. Beautifully done. What a getaway from the Scarlet Red Ferrari. Beautiful done. But Dr. Steele's looking a little bit unsettled though as he's looking left and looking right to try and slip on through and take that position back as Sid is now challenged against the KFC bloke for P3, the side-by-side coming out of that one, but Sid maintains, and no, we have a spinning V-carb at the back. That's Baron, the Racing Bulls, has met the barrier. That damn wing is severely damaged, and Ashton the Brit is falling down to the bottom of the field as well, so maybe a moment there with that Racing Bulls driver has cost him the position, or a bit of a moment with somebody else. Hugo potentially has pushed him down the field, but everybody's getting through side by side. Sid is with the KFC block, but Sid still maintaining that P3 as the front two have now breached a 1 second gap with all that squabbling behind.
Yeah, so mostly clean getaway there for majority. I I didn't quite catch what went on
Oh,
between
switchback coming your
with
way.
Byron.
Sorry to cut you off. It may be coming
No,
your
that's
way
fine.
between Juiced and Roker as they go side by side. Juiced almost pulling off a beautiful move to fight back to position. Roker just took. He's going to try it again as we get going into Sector 3 around turn 14. Looking for switchback central is that Alpina Juiced, but he just can't seem to pull it off yet. Wow, beautiful racing there. Really getting the elbows out.
Yeah.
Tom Carter with the fastest lap of the race, leading there over Dr. Steele as Roker's been seen an open door on the only EGC who ran really, really wide out of those double left-handers. And now side by side he tries to fight the position back, but Juiced, he's looking to take them both.
No way.
Oh, you've got to be joking. You're outrageous. Oh no, take it easy, bro. Oh my word, that was absolutely insane.
He wasn't backing out, was he? He was very brave. He was there and he was staying there.
You've got to be joshing me. You've got to be joking. He's going for it again. He's going to try it again. He gets a double overtake to come the Alpine's way. You're damn right it is. He moves up 1 and 2 positions. But here comes a Williams to try and fight him back. He's clappering him on the tyres, trying to push him wide, trying to squeeze him any way that he can through these tight, twisty sections. But nevertheless, it's to no avail. Juiced has took that P3. You are absolutely out of your mind. Oh my God. That was ballsy.
He means business. Yeah, he means business. But this is where Juice sort of always seems to do better in the race over qualifying, I've noticed, over the past few races. So it'd be interesting to see how he gets on.
Man had me at a loss for words there. That was absolute beautiful reading of the race situation. That 2 cars battling up towards turn 3. He ran it a little bit wider to hook the car into the apex, take it tight and make it a 3 wide situation. Oh my God, read that like a book. Oh, EGC struggling out of the final 2 turns again, running it wide. All side by side with Roker now. Roker trying to take that P8 away, and he will do, but as he opened the door for somebody else to bring himself to the mix, that's Jack in that Mercedes. Nevertheless, EGC dives back through to retake that P8. Nice little squabble going on here, but here we see the race leaders fighting. Yeah. The race leaders are fighting away, and Tom Carter defending his position thus far. Oh, slipping and sliding. He's struggling. Tommy's really struggling. Dr. Steele is all over the back of that rear diffuser, and that gap that was 1 second from Sid is now half a second. The fighting between these two is allowing that pack to close back up. Oh! Moment, that's the safety car.
Yeah, EGC in the wall, I think.
I think that's BSC. Nope, wait.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a safety car coming out the pit.
I thought I just saw the side
BSC.
barrier says SC. So do the barriers, the flag, the digital flag on the side, I'm pretty sure that just said SC, not VSC. What? I mean, we can presume we're under VSC as there's no safety car taken to the track. Maybe just a visual bug from my side of things. VSC turned in too early, stupid mistake. When he had wing damage. Unlucky, my friend. We are under VSC conditions, which means we can go green flag at any moment when those marshals have cleared up that debris from the track. Those digital marshals that just look at the track and go, despawn. And it vanishes. Like a blink of your eye. I mean, the last time we saw a controversial moment was a marshal running across the track in Singapore as the cars were coming down towards the corner. I think that was towards... I don't know if it was turn number 7 or turn number 10. I think it was towards turn number 10. But we are back to green flag conditions. Like? There's a gif of it. There's a gif of it.
Like, just being that man, you look down the track and just see these cars hurtling towards you, like...
Oh, that's petrifying. That is petrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Could you imagine the speed that these cars can produce?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that must have looked crazy.
Dr. Steele just tapped
his
the wall there. I don't know if he's got damage, but it would look like a rear end collision more than the front end, but he is getting a bit close to the barriers there. Stop flirting with barrier.
KFC's got an end plate missing. He is one that does have damage, speaking of damage. Right behind Doctor.
I know Barrier talks a sweet game, but stop flirting with him. Ooh, Swifty almost pointing in the wrong direction there. That could have been dangerous. Just jumped on board with that and he got a little bit twitchy on the back end. Everyone else just settling into a rhythm now. We're at the point of the race where nobody's going to risk any moves or overtakes. They're going to settle into a tyre management mode. See this more and more as the races go on. The first 3 to 5 laps can produce some mighty fine entertainment. After that, it is tyre management mode.
Yeah,
How long
most
can you
guys.
go?
I say most. It's
I'm losing my paperwork. I've got my fan on.
five people that have opted to start differently. So yeah,
Poochie Head just getting thrown under KFC block. The KFC block suffering with some front right end plate damage that is missing from his vehicle, which is going to cost him around those left-handers. Dr. Steele closing up to the back of Tom Carty, your race leader, who took it away from the start and has had a little bit of battling with the McLaren driver himself. But now as we get going on to lap 5, they get close once again. And Tom Carter still leading the way.
yeah, he seems to have enough straight line to defend at the moment. All depends on his battery usage, how well he's using that as well.
God, that was a real cold brown moment for Dr. Steele. I think he had a little bit of a wobble coming out of turn 16, 17, and somebody else has had a moment. That's Craig O'Flare or Swifty, one of them. Somebody's had a moment in turn 17 there, just like Dr. Steele almost did,
Swifty,
almost met the
looks.
barrier.
Yeah, Swifty has no front wing at all, so that was Swifty.
Oh, unfortunate though for the Aston Martin driver coming into the pits. Is that a retirement or is that just swap your wing and hard tyres to the end, my friend?
That's a long stint. Oh, he's gone on the mediums.
Oh, two-stop.
Yeah, definitely
This is
is.
interesting. This is interesting to
He's
see.
committed to it now.
I mean, the two... Oh, screen freeze. I beg your pardon. But as we look on to the mid-pack, more along the lines of mid, but the points pack. That's a mad move. Let's get in a little bit closer to the KFC block, looking to try and seize the overtake. The KFC block is doing very, very well. Got to say, with that damage, to stay within DRS and could be sizing up and move on Poochie Head. Looks to the inside, still makes himself wide, makes himself known in those mirrors. Poochie Head leaving more than enough space. The KFC block not able to make a move thus far. Now with DRS has got a beautiful run coming down towards a 16-17 chicane. Side by side in 16. Pushes the Aston Martin wide. He's forced to take the run off. Through goes the Red Bull. And that's a position gained. But at what cost? Oh my word. That's a mad move. Just almost came up the rear of Poochie Head there. Got a little bit dangerous close. Poochie Head was running a little bit slow out of the final 2 turns, which you normally expect to be flat to the floor, as that's a mad move, was certainly doing so. And just got a little bit close to that diffuser. Almost contact, but did very well to stay away from it. And cannot risk any front wing damage, not on a track like Singapore. You need to keep that wing fully intact. You need that downforce to affect those front tyres and get the rotation around these treacherous turns, because those walls come at you very quickly. We're getting racy though for this midpoint in the points field. You've got side by side with Poochie Head, and through around goes Juiced, and that's a mad one. I've gone through. Poochie Head is struggling here. I don't know if that's costly. Is his tyres burnt out? Has he picked up any sort of damage? He's dropped a position to Roker as well now, down to P8.
I can only think of that being maybe the tyres overheating, or but he's definitely struggling.
Yeah.
Still falling back.
I wonder if his setup had just absolutely destroyed his tyres. His tyres got nothing more to give. Look at the back end, slipping and sliding everywhere. He's trying to get the power down, trying to get the rotation. The Aston Martin's just not going nowhere. As we go side by side with that's a mad one under KFC block. That's a mad move. Slips on through, but he's opened the door for the KFC block to try and fight it back. The man has certainly had his chicken today, but he's not. He dives into the pit lane. He's going to swap that wing and slap on those hards. So I just thought about it. He's going in to swap his chicken wing.
The KFC.
I mean, I love KFC. I'm all about it, but I don't think I'd make it my name.
Yeah. I got a soft spot for their little spicy snack wraps.
Do you know what? Yeah, no. I see. For me, I like a variety. I like switching it up. So the last time I went to KFC, I had the Zinger box meal, which is the one that comes with like an extra chicken strip and stuff, a boneless chicken strip. It's got a Zinger burger, a chicken strip, and you get your side,
Yeah.
you drink. I got that. Well, I've had the rice boxes. I've had the saucy dips. Oh, them Kansas barbecue sauce dips. Oh my word, they are to die for. To die for, man. Every time I got a KFC and they're on, you've got to get them. Got to get them.
They've just brought out a new Zinger, haven't they, where it's like coated in the Zinger sauce.
Yeah.
So that one I want to try. I imagine that's fire, like literally fire.
Yeah, see, you're just like me. Yeah, you're always mad on the munchies. You know, we're in the same boat in that sense. We're always mad on our snacks. So, like, as soon as I heard that was announced, I've not had it yet, but I was like, oh my god, I've got to get that. I will have
Yeah.
fire evacuating my ring piece because it will be delicious.
Yeah, it's hot enough as it is. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Oh, we got Rocker.
Is that
Yeah.
oh, he's crashed. He's
No,
crashed.
he's not. He's crashed it on the final corner.
That's VSC. No, that's full safety car. Oh, we're under full safety car.
Oh, first one of D2 this season.
Oh, no.
Oh no. No, but the timing of it.
That's good timing.
It could
This is
shake
pit
it
stops.
up,
This
yeah.
is pit stops. This is good timing. Now,
Especially for medium runners.
now Tom boxes, Dr. Steele. Sid's going to lose out on time, I think. How far is... No, he's not. 6 seconds reduced. He'll be fine. But let's have a look to see who has already boxed. Now, we only have Ty Clear, who's at a potential chance of undercut. We're 20 seconds behind. That chance is well and truly out of the window, as everybody's now on that reduced pace. He's not going to benefit from that. Not going to have a faster lap on his out lap. He's stuck there as he is. Not going to find any improvements unless those ahead of him do ultimately choose to box. That's unfortunate. Tried to go for a strategy and it's not playing out in his favour. So, for the likes of Tom Carter, Dr. Steele, Sid, Juice, they've all got a box. They're not going to lose anything. And then they can run to the end of the race. This has come at the right time for the front runners. Maybe a bit of a bad time for those that have already chose to box. I wonder, have I got this set up? Let me just see. No, I do not. It's currently... No, I do not. Never mind. Maybe next time.
Oh, is that your...
Yeah, it's when they get to
Is that
see
an
my
overlay?
beautiful face.
Yeah.
While we're under safety car. I forgot to set it up. My apologies, my apologies. I haven't used it in a while, you see. Not needed to with, you know, how rare it is to see a safety car in this league because we're just, you know, the best. Don't even set up the safety car screen because, you know, it's very rare that we see safety car. You know, just as it is. Anyway.
Yeah, as I was saying, this is our first one in 7 rounds in D2, so we've had a VSC in a previous race, but first full safety car.
Yeah, you know, it's just as we go, you know, off the line racing. You know, standard procedure. Safety cars, what's them, mate? What's them? VSC? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
Who wants to play
I guess.
follow the safety car?
Exactly. Nobody wants to be stuck behind a reduced Delta. Nobody wants to be looking at this Aston Martin that's trailing along that's probably got Lance Stroll driving it. They want to see the race in action. To be fair, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me when the safety car crashed. I think Burt crashed in Monza, didn't he? Either this year or last year. Safety car crash under a practice session in one of the practice days. And
I didn't actually know that.
yeah,
I hadn't
safety car
seen that.
crashed. Safety car crashed either last year or this year. One of the, I think it was the same. So it was when Kimi Antonelli was doing his testing for Mercedes. So it would have been last year. The safety car crashed in Monza. Now I swear to God, that was Lance Stroll applying for the job, and that was his interview. And obviously he didn't get the job.
I've never rated Stroll personally. I think he's just, yeah. He's one of those. He's just got one of those faces, you know, that you just want to go up to and yeah,
If
use
I
as a punch bag or something.
if I met Lance Stroll, I would just have one question. Right, it's a simple question, yeah. It's a single word question. Right, it doesn't need context. Yeah, actually, it's not a single word question. It doesn't even need context behind it because it will make sense. Right, why on the formation lap? That's all I've got to ask someone. Because to DNF from a Grand Prix before a Grand Prix has even started is a different level for me. Gotta be honest. But something that I am going to mention, honourable mention. Juiced, also previously known in the Discord as Tesco Basket, which I hated, by the way. He's in P3 with an undercut. Sorry, I get to the end of my sentence. He's ended up in P3. So, I don't know who's done it. Obviously, the double stack was Sid, has allowed him to do it. But there was a
No,
6-second gap.
I think it's just really strong on this track.
I don't think he undercut though, because they're on the same amount the same amount of
But
laps.
yesterday in the D3 race I was racing in, and the leader was way ahead of me, and then I stopped, and then he stopped a few laps later, and he came out the pit behind me, and he had a gap on me that shouldn't have been undercuttable, if that can be a word. Yeah, so I do think the undercut is very strong on this track naturally,
Well, it's just the pace difference, isn't it? When the tyres start to
and that,
drop
yeah,
off, and when the tyres start to drop, you've run, say, 10 laps on the mediums. Let's say you did go 10 laps on the mediums. Somebody boxes, but you're actually trying to go to 12 laps for, running long. That's a standard strat. Somebody boxes. Those 2 laps, you could see a 6-second gap drop with the
yeah,
tyre
you lose a lot of
difference.
time.
With the
Hmm.
tyre difference. And as well, these hard tyres, they are the better racing tyre. Everybody knows it. Everybody starting mediums. They get this tyre out of the way. The worst racing tyre they've seen in recent games. And then they go on to the hards and they can try and push to the end. But even that is coming at a bit of a cost because some drivers box in too early to get off those mediums and it's putting them in punchy territory. So it's one of those. It's one of those. When is the right time to box? See, I'm still on normal strategies now. Safety car has obviously
Yeah,
forced
same here.
drivers to box here. It's forced them to do it. They didn't have a choice. Anybody who's done an undercut would have benefited completely and utterly. They've had to box. They had no other option, all apart from Jack, who is running that 2-stop. Now, I feel like he should have boxed for hards, but because this may have cost him now. I don't know. He's been heavily reliant here, he's Jack, on the drop off in tyres and making easy overtakes later on into this second stint. It's a huge Hail Mary, a bold, brave strategy, I've got to say. But, I mean, see, Tom Carter's saying it's 4 or 5 laps too early for those mediums.
Yeah, there's still a long race to go.
Well, it's 19 laps now. 20 laps, I reckon, is doable. It is doable, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. This could go Jack's way if it all plays out on tyre deficit later on. And there is the call. Safety car will go in this lap. We'll be back to green flags racing for lap 13 and onwards. You'll be graced with 18 laps of racing, including lap 13. And Tom Carter will take us away with the restart. We'll now need to make sure that those tyres are fired up, ready to go, and needs to catch out his rival behind. Dr. Steele, your pole sitter, who got jumped on the race start, and Tom Carter has certainly been keeping him at bay thus far. But now we get going into the second stint. The strategies have been done and dusted. The green flag is out. Tom Carter is away, put to the floor as we get going out of the final 2 turns. Oh wait, he hasn't gone, but no, he's gone. There, he's gone. Foot to the floor. He's caught out juiced by only half a second. But not caught Dr. Steele napping at all. Nobody has made any opportune moves apart from the KFC block, who has changed that wing, fresh tyres, and he's now back to full throttle, but he's made contact with a kick salvo around wide. Through goes to the KFC block once again. Now, I do feel like he was entitled to that. Now, I don't know if he left enough space. That's the only thing. And KFC block does move up into P9, but has lost a little bit of time to that car in front. Dr. Steele getting dangerously close on making a move on Tom Carter as we come through to start into Sector 2, getting towards turn number 8, and around we go. Tom Carter still leading the way, potential switchback coming Dr. Steele's way, but not thus far. This guy sounds like an evil villain from Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Steele. I've got to be honest. Hey, you sound like a villain, mate. You sound like you're off the Incredibles. A Disney movie ass name. I'm sorry, I love it. But here we go. Dr. Steele trying to close in on Tom Carter, having his rightful pole taken away. As Juice now gets mighty friendly with that rear diffuser with the McLaren driver. Easy sizing up a move, no DRS just yet. Will come on the next lap, but not down that start finish straight. They will get DRS at the end of Sector 1, coming towards out of Turn 5 and down towards Turn 6 and Turn 7 is when you'll see that rear wing be open. So now, has Tom Carter done enough? He's reached a 7/10 gap thus far, but is it enough to keep Dr. Steele at bay? I believe it will be, unless that man of the Man of Steel, I should say, is trying to pull back some time, pull back some tenths, and get into a striking distance under DRS. See, it has been a little bit as I predicted. It's just been more of a DRS train. Drivers are struggling to find those moves unless a driver makes a mistake. If a door opens, the driver's taking it, just like seen by Jack in the Mercedes. Got a bit too friendly with the outside wall coming out of turn number 5. Maybe open the door for both Craig Inflator and his teammate, Mr. Blobby, to slip on through. Back to the front now, Dr. Steele, closing, not close enough. Sid CCB1, closing on the back of that Alpine, again, not close enough to make a move. It's impossible to overtake. It's tight, treacherous, not enough space. Oh, Sid! Oh, my word. I can't mention this kid's name without him getting excited. Gotta let off the brakes a little bit too soon there, buddy-o. And hit the rear end of that Alpine, but has stayed behind. No cost, no foul, still within DRS is juiced, but maybe cost him a tenth or so, which he can try and pull back as we get through to start lap 15.
Yes, KFC is he's sort of holding 2.5 at the moment. He's going to need to burn some of that battery and push to get back to them guys in front before they get too far away.
Track limits coming for Craig Inflator. That's not good, my friend. We'll have a quick little nosy at the penalties. You can see the 10 seconds for Ty Clear for speeding in the pits. Swifty on 6. Everybody else is on 3 seconds for track limits. Swifty severely damaged by 6 seconds. Even if he was to make moves, was to make overtakes, they are not to come his way. Further down the field, looking back at Craig Inflator, the man we just spoke about with the 3-second time penalty. He's fighting for position with Ty Clear. Ty Clear suffering with 10 seconds, but 2.5 seconds separates them from his teammate, the KFC block ahead. Now, 1 second from tie clear to the KFC block. Sorry. Will separate that DRS, so could potentially put tie clear under threat from positions being taken. But thus far, again, proving how difficult it is to overtake even with DRS advantage, just can't close up enough to make the move. The dirtier is too much for these drivers to make opportune moments happen. You've got to make an overtake happen. You need to force your rival into a mistake. You've got to take risky chances. As Tom Carter got a little bit too friendly with the wall there, coming out of turn 17. Now out of the final two to start lap 16, settled back into his rhythm. Dr. Steele closing up ever more. 310 still separating. Tom Carter has much better grip going through turn 1 and 2. Manages to open the gap up once again. He is faster in Sector 1, I've got to say, Tom Carter, but Dr. Steele seems to be quicker in Sector 2 and 3. So Tom is really pulling a time difference out of turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. But then you look towards Sector 2 and Sector 3, Dr. Steele is right back on his tail, breathing down his neck.
It's just enough to keep him far enough away, though, from at the moment, from Dr. Steele being able to get any kind of move done. Because it's like by the time Dr. Steele's getting up behind him, they're going into a corner, so his corner advantage is definitely playing its part. I mean, the exit he's just got there, you see the gap, and then by the time Dr. Steele gets any benefit, they're hitting the brakes.
Yeah, it's it. They're slowing right back down. These 4 DRS zones are really helping Tom because it's proving difficult for Dr. Steele to use them to his advantage. He just cannot get close enough. All the while, this is beautiful for Tom Carter. It'll help him regain the lead of the championship. Like, it'll help him in his championship run. He's been leading for quite a while.
Pucci, his rival, down in 6th at the minute.
I feel like Dr. Steele is going to be his rival. Yeah, it is. Pucci, he's currently leading, but Pucci's not feeling confident to stay within this fight.
But Dr. Steele's going to have to start looking behind him in a minute, as well as the forwards, as that Alpine is looking ready to start an attack. Juice has had a very good race. Like I say, he seems to... His race pace is definitely where he's stronger.
No, see, I don't want to put a label on it, on who I think is going to win. I don't want to make this bold prediction. Because Dr. Steele, you can't count him out, but he's slowly starting to lose time to Tom. Tom's really settling in now and finding the grip on these tyres.
Yeah, he is sort of comfortable, and it's the corner advantage. You see how much time he gains in the corners.
I think we've just seen the KFC block back into the pits. Is that another damaged wing for the Red Bull driver? It's a retirement. He has been struggling all through this Grand Prix. Has made it pretty well known from the start, from qualifying and so on thus far. And has just tried and tried to damage Limiter, but to no avail. Goes to the pits and will be the 5th driver not to finish the Singapore Grand Prix. I mean, at this point, everybody's almost guaranteed points.
Yeah, almost. Just 2 people.
Oh, side by side, Baron and Craigo Inflato. Craigo's taken to the runoff. Bearing in mind he was lucky to have a runoff, because in some corners you just met with a solid hard wall. And as I mentioned before, it's suddenly becoming stationary is what kills a human body. And can also destroy your car. So.
Oh. Sorry, Dr. Steele got very close to Tom's rear then. He's trying to hit the brakes later to catch up. So he's trying to sort of nullify what benefit Tom's getting in the corners by braking later.
It's just not working out for him. He's trying. You can see he's trying very, very hard. It's just not coming his way.
Yeah, he nearly he nearly bit off more than he could chew coming across the bridge. It was very close.
We still watch as these drivers are settled into their strategies. So around 10 laps to go before you see any sort of risky manoeuvres being made. They need to wait till they have no other option but to make those risky, opportune moments. Late braking dives to the inside, potentially trying to force them off track, make them go wide as such. This is, oh, Dr. Steele struggling. Really struggling. Back end's getting a little bit too loosey-goosey. Juice is all over the back
Yeah, I think
of
he
that
cooked
McLaren
it.
driver.
I think he's cooked it with that little moment where he almost went up the back of Tom.
Yeah, I think Tom's breathing a little bit easier now as that 1 second gap is starting to look a little bit more promising. Corner after corner, it's in and out of 1 second. As we now get over that bridge and around turn 13, has he broken it? Yes, he has. Detection point has been split. And now Dr. Steele is under threat from the Alpine behind. Juiced has been keeping damage limitation to an absolute minimum as we say that. Almost goes into the back of the McLaren, then almost collects himself into the wall. Did very well to keep that Alpine under control. Do you guys get excited when I mention your name or something? He's like, oh, I said my name. And then you start flapping on track. It's what I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm noticing a pattern.
He is known, if that's juice, I'd like to say it is really strong in the rain, like really strong. I think he's probably one of the best drivers in the division that I've seen in wet conditions at the moment. So they know what he's capable of.
Well, that's if the rain is to come. Oh, Lawrence, can you show tyres? Yes, I can. There
He's
you
making
go.
a move around the outside. He's got the move done on Dr. Steele around the outside there.
Easy pickings with that DRS, but Dr. Steele, we can see it, he is struggling. He is very much struggling. There's the tyres. Sorry, I was trolling you then, Lawrence. There you can see the tyres. Gotta say, Jack has boxed for his two-stop to come into play, but has he done enough? I think he has, you know, the tyre deficit is huge. But it's 20 seconds. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I'll tell you what would be brave. If those that are boxed for mediums again, under that safety car, are going for a medium soft.
Very brave.
I mean, it's very rare we see soft tyres grace the grid. Oh, excuse me. Unless we see a late safety car.
Tom's just disappearing at the minute.
Yeah, he's left. He's out of it. Dr. Steele, he's just dropped off, and because of that, the DRS being broken with a juice, he's just not going to catch up to Tom now. Tom is free and clear to run whatever pace he shall see fit, as long as he manages that 3 second gap. He's happy. He can pick up a track limits and still be happy. He's just checked out. He's just completely checked out.
So as it stands, it'd be difficult driver of the day for me between him and Juice.
Well,
In the current, at the current lap.
yeah, I mean, currently, it wouldn't surprise me if Sid gets in the mix here, because Dr. Steele has really been struggling.
Yeah, he just Sid's hanging on there, isn't he? So if Dr. Steele is struggling and knows that he is with that penalty, then maybe he won't fight Sid too much, but they are racers, so we shall see on that one.
Well, it just shows how difficult it is to overtake. Once you've got lead of the race, look at Tom there. He's just gone.
Yeah. Although they have managed to keep it at the 3 second mark this lap, but
I
they
think that's
say
just
Tom's
Tom. I
probably
don't
just
think Tom
settled
needs to
down a
push
little bit. Yeah,
anymore. Yeah, I think he's just settling into his current pace, thinking there's a 3 second gap. I don't need to go any harder. I can save the tyres a little bit just in case I should need them towards the end of the race. He's just going to sort of maintain that 3 second now. He's
yeah, just
comfortable.
manage the gap now. There's still 8 laps, eight full laps.
Well, still a long way to go. We do see drivers box 2 stop strategies will be implemented, and now they will continue to finish the Grand Prix in these final 8 laps, providing they're not met with barrier. Oh no, what's happened? My apologies. I just literally clicked to my mouse and it's tabbed me out. I apologise for that. We're back. We're back. Oh,
Didn't see nothing.
on the stream we just disappeared for half a second, but I do apologise. Well, no. Here comes Sid CTB1, starts to close up on his teammate, as Juice has now breached a 1 second gap. As we mentioned, Dr. Steele struggling on the tyres. That could be setup related, as he's just seen a huge drop off as the laps have been unfolding. Sid now looking to take the P3 for McLaren. Another podium finish for Sid, and a good podium at that. I've got to say, he's kept his nose clean this season. Wait,
Yeah,
there he
he's been
goes.
doing all right, Sid.
Well, this slowed down very, very quickly, a lot quicker than I anticipated. As there's a battle out of the pits, I believe, for try clear on the first opening lap, should I say. Oh, around the outside, Ashton the Brit, you ballsy bugger. They're still fighting down towards turn 1 though, side by side, tie clear.
Tom.
Oh, slight clipping there from Ashton the Brit, and tie clears. Tom had a moment, he's dropped some time.
Yeah, he did. He nearly dropped it coming out the hairpin.
Still 2 seconds of breathing
after the bridge.
space. He's still comfortable. I'm now trying to open that gap up a little bit more. I hope he will, because he's also got that threat of a track limits penalty if he has been playing a little bit too close to those white lines. As I mentioned,
He definitely did that.
oh my word! I'm gonna stop speaking. I'm
Yeah.
gonna shut up. It's like the 4th time
Literally
this
the
race.
timing again. as you say it.
I'm actually about to stop speaking. I'm gonna leave the show to you to finish off the next like 7 laps, Lanky, I swear. This is
Hey, my luck. I wouldn't say I'm going to give him any better luck.
Wow.
But yeah, he definitely got one there.
Yeah, no, he needs that 3 seconds. Just in case he's on 2 warnings now. He's only got 1 more in the bank. He's done well though this race, coming back after a little bit of a sabbatical. And he's leading by 2.5 seconds. Just shy. He's now dropping a little bit of time. Juice finding some more pace coming into Sector 2, which, you know, wasn't Tom's strong point. Sector 1 seems to be Tom's strongest area. But as we get going through Sector 2, he finds a little bit more pace into Sector 3. So let's see how these laps go on and unfold, as we've still got 7 racing laps to go.
Dr. Steele's dropped right back, hasn't he? Did he stop again?
He stops again. He's had to box. His
Yeah,
tyres
I
have
was
done
going
him
to
no
say for that
favours.
far. I didn't notice him stop. So yeah, as I said, for how far back it is, but I bet he feels great on those now. As you can see, these two battling ahead of him.
Yeah, he's going to be licking his lips with that. The more they fight, the more of a chance he's got to benefit with time loss and potentially seize an opportunity. So Dr. Steele, he will be looking to size up some sort of move to come his way. He also has the better tyres. I forgot the tyres were still on the screen. I apologise for that. I keep leaving them on recently. I keep forgetting about that because I'm sort of looking past it. I'm looking through it at the action going on, so I sort of forget that he's telling you that the tyres are on the screen. But there we have it. As the fastest lap, and that's a mad move. He's took the fastest lap. I love that name, by the way. Like, don't change that ever. The reason why I don't want him to change it, I'm going to be honest with you, is because he's going to pull off an absolute outrageous overtake. And I've got the perfect line for it. It's going to be like, and here goes the Williams. That's a mad move. It makes sense. It makes total sense, no matter which way you say it. Oh, the gap's open up and things have certainly slowed down. But I tell you who's not got a gap. That will be Jack and Craig or Inflator. Jack is certainly under some pressure from that kick Sauber behind, who's looking to try and close up under DRS and take that position away. It will be 2 points to add to the timing table rather than the one that he's going to offer in at P10. But he's still finishing it in the points as the kick Sauber. So, got to be happy with that at least.
Yeah, you know, he could have lost a lot more. Tom's managing that gap again. I keep an eye on it. I'm keeping an eye on it because I think Juice, you know, he's looking stronger. So, and it all depends on whether there's enough laps for him. But he takes little bits off here and there, as he's just lost some. As I'm saying that, so
Oh, it's
yeah.
another 3 seconds for the kick Sauber. Mr. Blobby into the pits. That's either a retirement or fastest lap attempt. Is this potentially looking for what could be a soft stint? Everything really slowing down now. People are just trying to survive and go the distance. The tyres are certainly showing their age, showing how difficult it is. We had Dr. Steele who had to box to swap off those hard compound tyres. He's gone 4 to 5 laps too early, as Tom Carter mentioned in the Twitch chat. They were expecting to go another 4 to 5 laps on the mediums with the safety car. They would have been stupid not to box because of those that have already boxed and gone for that two-stop strategy. Ultimately would have brought them straight back into play, straight back into contention. Whereas Tom Carr's just managed these hards very, very well. That gap has opened up once again. He had a little bit of a moment. It dropped to about 2.1 seconds, 2 seconds. And he's now sitting firmly at 2.5 and getting bigger.
Yeah, I think Byron just had a moment. There was a yellow flag there, but he's back up and going and looks damage free. But that has got Craig and Jack right on his tail now because of that.
His wing is looking fine. He just needs to be able to keep them at bay now. But
Yeah, I
without
think he just
DRS,
spun it.
that could prove problematic.
It was on the exit of the hairpin, so it is a prime location for a spin.
Now, it's interesting to see if Craig Inflator is going to get close enough to Baron to size on a move in the closing laps. We've got 4 laps of racing to go thus far. Tom Carter well and truly left the chat. Juiced left the chat. Sid is a 1.6 second gap. He's well and truly comfortable. So at the minute, I think this is going to be your finishing order. Unless something majorly dramatic happens. Like, I mean, it is Singapore. The walls are not exactly straight. The track itself is very, very bumpy, which is a major contributory fact into why there's so much understeer on this circuit. The car just can't settle into the corners. It's bumpy. It sends the car into a bit of a slide, understeering, and unsettles the front grip and the front axle. So you've got to be careful more than most, especially around the fast corners, because that understeer comes at you very, very rapidly, run wide into a barrier, or ultimately track limits, as we see by Ashton the Brit. Now 3 laps to go. Tom Carter still leading the way with a comfortable margin, and everybody just trying to survive now to the checkered flag.
Yeah, the tyres are definitely doing their part now on where these people are. And like you say, just a matter of them trying to make them last as much long as they can and keep them out of puncher territory, because I believe it's fairly like low, like from about 70%, 60%, 60 to 70 it can go from. So
Yeah, I believe so.
some tracks you can get away with it a bit more, can't you? Up to the 80s and that
They said
before
Tom's
you
losing
sort
a
of,
bit of time though.
yeah, he's. I wonder, like, um, where he's had that straight advantage, if he's on a slightly lower downforce, obviously, and then that's that now with the tyre deck is starting to show as he's trying to get the traction out of the corners.
Well, we are getting down to those final closing laps, so he is sort of breathing a sigh of relief as the laps start to count down. I wonder what his tyre wear is on, whether he's approaching that puncher territory, but I think Juice has just clattered a wall, because I did hear an audible crunch. Now, that normally only happens when somebody meets barrier. So somebody's hit it, and I was on board with Tom at the time. The only person close enough to Tom to produce such sound is Juiced. Now, as we keep our eyes on to Tom Carter, he's about to come to the penultimate lap. Oh, we have a move. We have something happening. It was the teams. No, it wasn't. It was Mr. Blobby and Ty Clear having a bit of a scrap. We had something actually happen. Oh, and I missed it. Oh, no. Oh. We've just been watching cars go around the track for 15 laps, and the one overtake I missed. Oh, no. That's severely disappointing. Nevertheless, we are coming around the track for the second to last time. Reduced now 2.5 seconds behind Tom Carter. Tom Carter, who's had a couple of little moments struggling, trying to make these tires go the distance, but did bridge a big enough gap to that what would have been his rival and pole sitter, who has ended up falling down and is now back into the pits. I can only assume he's going to go for fastest lap, because you are making absolutely zero sense to box and lose positions when you're in the points. Unless you've got damage. And he's in the pit for an unusually long time, so potentially had wing damage.
I think Jack's looking. Oh, yeah, I've just done a U. I was just about to say, hey, I think Jack's setting himself up for an attack and he has a snap out of the corner.
Singapore has been very unforgiving for these drivers tonight, I've got to say.
We need to just sit here and let them just do their thing.
We just got to hope they survive, yeah. Just make it to the end, just make it to the checker flag, and there's 3 seconds for Dr. Steele. From pole to the bottom of the points, it's nothing but disaster. And I mean, what can I say? The Disney villain never wins. Tom Carter comes around the final 2 turns and will cross that checker flag for the second to last time to take us away on the final lap. What a beautiful race, perfect race, beautifully run strategy and tyre management for the Scarlet Red Ferrari as he comes back after weeks away from this game. He spent a lot of time in iRacing, which has proved to serve him well. Has been able to use those teachings and have a better grip in this game, because that I can tell you with an absolute fact. is much easier to drive Formula 1 F1 2025 than it is to drive iRacing. So it's proved to increase that skill and help him along in his championship fight, although it was never really a question. He was in contention for championship all the way through this season, and he's now going to take yet another top spot to further help him along and extend that championship lead. However, Poochiehead, although he's not feeling like a championship contender, he's finishing looking like a P3 position on the podium, so he's still well and truly within the fight. So, never say never, Poochiehead. You said it in the chat, I'm not in the championship fight, and yet you're looking at a podium. So, you know, I'll have enough of that from you. Dr. Steele making moves. Craig Inflator looking a little bit sideways. And that's wing damage for Dr. Steele yet again.
At least it's the last lap.
Ah. Oh, my word.
He doesn't have to carry it for long.
He's clattering the walls left, right, and centre. That McLaren is not rotating whatsoever. But we're on board with Tom Carter. He comes out of the final turn and wins in Singapore with Juice crossing the line for P2. And Sid, without that 3-second time penalty, would have been on the podium. But here comes Poochiehead to snatch that away. That's a mad move for P5, where Sid just lines up in P4. Further down the order, we wait for Baron to come towards the line and see where he's going to finish. He should finish smack bang as he is in P6. And then Dr. Steele just limping back around the track for P7. Craig Inflator in P8. Jack in P9, unless we see some changes on penalties. There goes Dr. Steele, there goes Craig Inflator, there goes Jack. And then Mr. Blobby on his race debut, finishing off those points positions in 10th. Ty Clear and Ashton the Brit fighting to the line. Whereas Ty Clear, I think, got it on the track, but Ashton the Brit, without the time penalty, will take it away from him. And there you have it. Tom Carter taking a much needed victory and will retake the lead of the championship. Do you know what? For a man who's been away for a while from the game and has come back like that, being P2 in qualifying, to take the lead off the start, to run a perfect race and win, you can't fault him. Well deserved. And I've got to give my driver of the day to Tom Carter, though. That's just, you know, what can you say? What more can you say? He's not been here for a while. He's been out of the game for a bit. He's been doing a lot of iRacing. Been out of the game in that sense. Comes back with an absolute bang in Singapore. With Juice taking a much needed podium and Poochiehead still in the championship fight. Sid CCB1. That's a mad move. Baron, Dr. Steele, Craig Inflator, Jack and Ty Clear doing the points positions. Ashton the Brit, Mr. Blobby, the KFC, and then onto the DNFs. The KFC block, Swifty, Hugo Roker, and the only EGC. The KFC block is probably my hold on. Nah, Juice driver of the day from Ricky. I haven't noticed that. From P10 to P2 at Singapore. Oh yeah, he had the pit stop. The pit stop safety car helped him massively.
It's very close between both, but I would say Juice would have to take that for just the positions gained.
Well, that's it. Poochhead. Hey, that's it. You've nailed it on the head. Does nothing. P3. Stay out of trouble. Run your race. P3. Now, I would love to do the interviews, but I'm going to have to call it because I was genuinely falling asleep in that race. I can't lie. I was struggling to stay awake. This is because I've been doing a lot of work recently. I've been doing early starts, late finishes. It's been a disaster for me, I've got to say. But I will bring us back with interviews next week if I'm back in the booth. We shall wait and find out for the reverse Silverstone Grand Prix. But for now, for us, that is all, and we shall see you next time. But join us tomorrow for Division 1. Join myself tomorrow for Division 1 with Ryan Hearn as the Division 1 drivers get us around Singapore for another 31 laps. But for now, that is all, and we shall see you next time. Good night.